Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another insightful webinar hosted by the Dental Student Society. I'm Dr. Aster Vas, founder of this wonderful community, and through our webinars, we aim to empower and inspire foreign trained dentists transitioning into the dental programs in the United States. Thank you for being here today. And I'm thrilled to introduce you to our guest speaker, Dr. Bansri, who has had an incredible success story to share. She's achieved what many of us aspire to, and she's applied to the DDS program in her first cycle and got accepted into the prestigious University of Pacific Arthur Dugoni School of Dentistry. Dr. Bansri will be starting her program this year, and we are here to learn from her remarkable journey. So, before we begin, let me give you a little background about Dr. Bansri. She's a prosthodontist from India who completed her master's degree before embarking on her journey in the US. And along the way, she tackled the INBDE, TOEFL, and many other prerequisites we know with sheer determination. She also earned multiple certifications like the CDA, making her profile exceptionally strong. And what really stands out is her focus and commitment to her goals. So, this
Mm.
is going to be a lively 30-minute session where we dive into Dr. Bansri's journey, explore the challenges she faced, and learn how she turned into these steps stones for success. I encourage everyone to drop your questions in the chat box as we go. Well, Dr. Bansri, let's start from the beginning. So, what motivated you to pursue dentistry as a career, and how did your journey evolve into applying to the DDS program from the US?
From the very beginning, I was very excited to start my dental journey. I'm from India and from Gujarat state, so I started in 2014 with my BDS. Eventually, after completing my BDS, when I used to assist postgrads, I realized my interest is more in restorative dentistry, and I would like to explore more. So I appear for the NEET MDS exam. I was lucky enough to get into my dream branch, that is prosthodontics, and I had so much of clinical experience, I think, which helped me to gain, which also helped me to gain a seat in US after moving to US. And I always wanted to explore the higher standards of dentistry with the new technologies and everything, and always ready to learn and relearn some of the facts and procedures. And yes, that is all. I started my BDS in 2014, completed in 2019, and I started my MDS during COVID, that is 2020. I graduated in 2023, and I soon moved to United States after graduating to pursue my dream of getting accepted into the dental school over here and to start my journey again from scratch.
So you had like a well-established career in prosthodontics in India, and what inspired you to like transition into the US dental system, and how did you prepare for this significant shift?
It was very difficult from my side since I never wanted to leave prosthodontics, but I also had the hope in myself that and confidence in myself. Like if I try, if I overcome this obstacle, I can again establish myself as a dentist in US. And I was also excited to learn more about restorative and dentistry, general dentistry in to gain a comprehensive aspect of everything, starting from treatment planning using the digital integration. And I think that motivated me a lot. And there was also one reason while I got married to my husband who was already in US. So combinedly all the reason, like coming here is definitely I got married, but after moving here what motivated me is um, to explore more in the dentistry, because dentistry has so much to give everywhere, and I feel over here I need to learn more about the comprehensive digital integration. So I think from the very first day I was motivated to start my journey, and I started by dental shadowing and prepping for INBD exam.
So like applying for DDS is definitely very daunting, this process of everything. So can you walk us through your application process and how did you ensure that you stood out during your first application cycle?
Yes, thank you so much. So my application cycle was very frustrating, as everyone knows. It tests our patience and perseverance. So, starting like from initial phase while I was prepping for INBD, like I had a time goal for me. I need to prep in 2 months. I appeared for my exam in January 2024 for INBD, and after that I also prep for TOEFL like 15 days. Most of the people have that thing in their mind, we don't need to prepare for TOEFL, but I wanted like most of the schools have certain criteria, so I had just one chance because I had one thing in my mind, I need to clear TOEFL in February so that I can be ready for the March cycle. And so I appeared once for the TOEFL. I got score 102, and it fulfilled most of the criterias of the school. So I moved forward with my application, and I joined a bench test course in LA at Stevenson Dental Solution in March. And after completing that, I came back. I reviewed all my paperwork very carefully, and I applied in April. I was a little late from my timeline of applying in March, but I was happy. I what I did was great after paying attention to my SOP and everything. I was in a hurry, but I was not in that phase where I just need to complete everything. I feel the paperwork is very important, so I tried myself to complete everything in April month. And yes, by the last week of April, I applied to most of the schools, and I also like cleared the secondary applications. Most of you must be knowing, like with the normal capit application, there is also a secondary application of for each school. It is very different. They have very different criterias, and sometimes they ask questions. So it is very important to pay attention to all those questions while you are answering, because that is something which makes you stand out from other applicants. You can write a personal story, a personal experience which you might had in your journey, and I think that some school pays the most attention to that. And some of the schools also has a format for CV, like UOP. UOP has a very strong focus on the CV format. So I took some time while editing it, and after completing it everything, like maybe in the last week of April, I was done and waiting for my interview invite and prepping for the bench test, of course.
That is really good. I mean, can you tell us about what is your take on how to do the CV and the SOP?
So my take is that you should know yourself better. Like no one knows yourself than anyone. So when you are starting to write your SOP, I think you should take some time out from your schedule, try to explore your journey step by step. What did you do in your 5 years of experience, maybe in masters, and try to express that in words. There is no hurry. I took like 1.5 months to fabricate like my SOP, but each and every detail, each and every word was written by me. So I think that is very important. I felt I met many people, and sometimes I also felt like people in a hurry to complete the SOP and paperwork, since they are struggling with the job, dental assistant, and everything, and their sole focus becomes dental assisting. Like it should not be the sole focus when you are applying to a cycle, because it costs you so much money. So when you are at work, I would advise everyone to think about work, but apart from work, when you are at home, I think you should try to pay more attention to the details which you are writing, and be write as much ethical as it is possible. Don't write something which you haven't done in your experience, because I had a time when my interviewer asked everything from my SOP, because they wanted to make sure I'm the person who has written that, and they also wanted to make sure like I have experience and done all that clinical scenarios during my experience. So I think like people should write everything truthfully and in all ethical terms.
Yeah, I completely like understand, and thank you for sharing those points forward. Do you have anything to say on how to fill out the CAPIT application? Because you see, there are sections where you have to explain your achievements or experiences, and there's a word limit to that as well. So, how did you do that, and how do you think it should be portrayed in the application?
So, like during the application, CAPIT application, when it was about to start, I already took a review of what all schools want. Sometimes we are short of some documents. Some schools even ask for transcript, that is a sealed envelope. So I think I approached it comprehensively, step by step, like starting from what all school needs and like what is a deadline. We also need to keep deadline in the mind. We don't need to apply in a rush. And from the SOP, like there was a character limit 5200. And from starting I didn't write 5000 to 200 characters. Like I had a very lengthy SOP. I edited it multiple times, I proofread it. Even my husband and my parents also helped me doing that. I used to send them. And after multiple sessions of proofreading, editing, I reached to that limit. And whenever I was making a rough copy and trying to explain myself, I never kept that limit in my mind. But when I'm proofreading, I kept that limit. So I try to express my thoughts out of my mind. And I suppose I wrote one paragraph, and after that, I had a thing in my mind like I need this paragraph to be of that much character limit, which I edited later on. So I think giving time and multiple editing procedures helps you fabricate a very good SOP and CV as well.
Okay. And so you earned certifications as well. You mentioned earlier to me about CDA and expanded dental assisting, I believe. So how
Hmm.
did these applications strengthen, like how did these things, strengthen your application, and like would you recommend the others to do kind of the same thing while they're pursuing DDS?
Definitely, yes. One should explore all the fields, what you are eligible to do. Like, I was living in Arizona. I explored all the certification of dental assisting over there. And after moving to Oregon, I had a new challenge of gaining new certificates: the radiology proficiency, certified dental assistant, infection control, expanded function. But in a way, everything helped me to enhance my CV. And you can also let them know like you are trying to gain insightful knowledge about American standards, American dentistry. When you read that infection control, like it is, they are very particular for that. So I think it was very helpful, and one should always try to make the application unique. So I never had a chance to explore hygienist, but I have recently heard like international students can practice as a dental hygienist in some states. I think that is one of the things which can help to enhance the application. So whatever, like there are volunteering opportunities, there are multiple CE courses everywhere, American Red Cross, etc. So I think one should explore everything that is possible. Because regarding my experience, I feel there is no set profile. It is like do as much as it is possible to gain valuable knowledge about American dentistry. And it is different, so please try to have that.
And can you tell us a bit more about, the process of applying for a CDA certification? Like, what did you have to study and how was the exam process for you?
Hmm. So basically, I read everything from DANB site, and I like there are more than eight certification in dental assisting in Oregon. So everything starts from radiology proficiency. So I also booked the course from DNB. I read it. I practiced multiple choice questions which were going to be asked, and then I went for the test. And you get the results like within next day, and they ask us to send a mail of certain documents to the address, and then they'll forward us with a letter like you have cleared the exam and everything. And yes, pretty much same. There are different rules depending upon the state, but I followed DNB website for everything.
And do you have a practical exam for that as well?
No, I didn't have any practical exam. It was theoretical, and like certain amount of MCQs for expanded function. I think there were 500, and for CDA there were 200, something in that range.
Okay.
And you need to clear some percentage to pass the exam.
Okay, wonderful. And so, you've had multiple interviews, which is very
Mm.
impressive. So, can you tell us about, the interviews you received and how did you prepare for those? Also, do you have any tips on how to ace the interview process?
Yes, I believe like if you have done the entire application procedure by yourself, then you will be pretty confident in the interview. If you have written all the secondary application answers, because most of the thing is same, you just need to have a different perspective. And I did prepare for my interview as well. I prepared for 2 weeks before, like after getting the first invite. And I would like to spread this message as well. Many times people don't take it that much seriously. You have only just one chance to ace that interview, and I think you should be pretty serious. Try to take out some time from the busy schedule, prepare for it, because many times it is quite possible we might not perform the way we wanted only that day. We might perform better. It was another day in a familiar environment. So I think practicing in front of the mirror or with any of your family members to just gain that confidence is very important. And as it is said, practice makes a man perfect. So it's not like a one day achievement, like you are okay, today is my interview, I'll try to be confident and I'll speak up everything. No, you should know yourself better. You should know each details about your application. You should know what you have written in your SOP. You should also have an idea about your CV. And if you have earned any other certification after applying, you can also tell them during the interview, Doctor, I also earned this and I would like to bring this to your notice, anything like that. But make sure to be prepared for the big stage in your life.
Yeah. And like, what was your UOP interview process like? Was it one day, and like, how is it generally done?
So UOP is generally like in a phase, maybe 3 to 4 days. And first day is the orientation day. For my during my time, it was on Sunday. I think most of the time it is usually on Sunday, so everyone can attend it because it is in person. And so I had an orientation day from morning till afternoon, late afternoon. After that, we had slots to pick like for one-on-one interview in person, and luckily my interview was on Monday, the following day after orientation day. And they also give you chance. I think UOP is the most organized school I have ever applied. They give you the chance like to have the financial aid sessions and the campus tour, one-on-one session, student panel, everything. Like all the they take care of all the aspects. And I joined. I was there till Wednesday, so Sunday was my orientation, Monday was my interview, but I stayed there. I took the campus tour. There are two campuses currently for UOP, and all the student panel questions, visa questions, whatever we might have in our mind. So I had a good interview experience at UOP.
Amazing. So, congratulations on getting into the University of Pacific. It's definitely a wonderful achievement. So, what about the school for the DSS program did resonate with you, and like what are something that is most exciting to you when you're beginning this new chapter?
I'm very much excited, like to learn everything. Especially, they pay a lot of attention to the conservative dentistry and the non-invasive aspect over here. And as usual, like I feel I'm going to gain so much qualities, leadership, which is UOP famous for, and like to practice basically with confidence in US as a private practitioner is something I'm looking forward.
Okay. And like they have two campuses, I believe. So, how did you apply for both of them, or like how did it go?
So initially, when we are applying in Capit, they usually ask, "Do you have any preference?" For me, I didn't select during that time. And after you are done with your interview, and if you are like selected, if you are accepted, before that they give you an email. They give you an option basically, like where you can select and you can let them know your priority. So I wanted to remain in San Francisco campus as it was near to my husband's job place in Santa Clara. So it was my preference, which I wrote it. And after that, when I was accepted, it is not in my hands whether I'll get my preference or not. But luckily, I got San Francisco campus, and so when they give you an acceptance call, I think that would be the final choice. Like they will make the final choice. You
Okay.
can write your preference, but it is upon them at the end.
Okay. And so when do you
Yeah.
start your program? Like, have you had the chance to meet your class already?
Yes, we recently had a webinar and we
Okay.
met everyone. We asked questions, and I think it starts in the first week of July
Okay.
2025, and they have multiple session as well. Like recently, I got an email from UOP. If you have any question, we can have a one-on-one session because sometimes students have question about financial aids, how to
Yeah.
do with the loan procedures and everything. I'm on my H4 visa, and so they also give you that opportunity. So I'm pretty excited to start my journey.
Thank you so much for sharing this. Could you tell us a bit more about the financial aid situation and like what are the resources available for students out there?
Okay, so there are many options. Like I'm on H4 visa, so I'll be taking a private loan with a co-signer. But people who have green card or maybe citizens, they can apply for different options, and the website has pretty much all the information. And after getting accepted, they also sent us a link where we can talk directly with the financial aid person who is responsible. We can call them anytime and they will help us out with anything. And they told us to start the procedure like after January, not in December last year. So it will be a new year, like 2025. So.
Okay. And does it also help out with the immigration, the visa situation for student visas and things like that?
Yes, yes, definitely. They offer all the help and all the documents that are needed. I will not be going through that route, but I have heard many friends taking that route, F1 visa and everything. So they provide all the aid and assistance, and they also had a webinar and also a live session during the interview time for this
Okay.
visa immigration procedure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just to come back to the TOEFL preparation, I wanted to ask on like how did you prepare for it? What resources did you use? And what sections did you want to stress upon more for your exam?
Yes, for TOEFL, like I think reading, listening, speaking, and writing. So I started practicing from reading, and eventually I completed my reading section. Then I went to listening, and I also gave the mock test. I used TST Prep app, and not just one app, but collectively everything from YouTube, whatever I can, and I tried my best. I prepped for like 15 days for TOEFL to gain a good score in first go because I was not having a time frame in my mind to go for the second one. So I think practicing often made me confident. And during the listening time, when there were many other people in the room who were already in the speaking time, so I think that was a thing which I lost my points in. But apart from that, it went very great.
I mean, thank you so much for sharing that again. I have to say, you juggle through a lot, trying to do a lot of things while you are assisting and getting your
Mm.
certifications. So, Dr. Bansri, thank you so much for sharing your inspiring journey with us. As
Mhm.
we wrap up, do you have any final words of advice or encouragement for aspiring DDS candidates in the audience?
Yes, I would like to say one thing. When I went for the interview, they had my SOP, my LORs, my CV, everything right in front of me on the table. And so, whatever you write, make sure it is ethical because they even ask certain questions to verify my information. And a general message to everyone. Uh, you should try to explore yourself and pay utmost attention to your paperwork. Don't take it for granted. That is something which will help the interviewer to know you better. So, most important is your paperwork. Try to do it with all dedication and discipline.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Bansri, once again for sharing your journey and insights. And thank you to everybody who have been actively engaging in this conversation with us. Just remember that success stories are like these are proof that your dreams are achievable and with persistence and with the right guidance. So stay connected with Dental Student Society for much more webinars and updates like these. And let's start supporting each other as we navigate the path in dentistry. So until next time, take care and keep smiling. Thanks again, everyone, for joining and have a good weekend.
Thank you so much, Doctor, for giving me this opportunity. I hope this webinar was valuable for everyone. I would also like to say a word. If anyone needs my help, you can reach out to me on my professional Instagram channel. I would be ready to help everyone navigate these challenges.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. And I really appreciate you doing that for students like us.
Mm.
Well, have a good day, everybody. All right,
Thank
bye
you so
bye.
much. Bye bye.